Hey everybody, it's Lynn from A Bit of Birdsong. It's not that hot outside, but for some reason it's very warm in the workshop, so I have the air conditioner going. I wanted to show you how these papers turned out. This is my favorite. I love this so much. So we have the black on this side, and this napkin was so much lighter and brighter, but now it feels more, it just feels darker, maybe more gothic, even though we've got sunflowers in here. And then this is cute. I'm not a huge fan of a strawberry theme, but it's not bad. I feel like I could use a little bit of this in different projects. I do like this. Oh, okay, let's go back. So that was a heavy black paper. And then this was just plain white printer paper. On the back of this, we have that old piece of notebook paper that is stained naturally. I didn't do anything to that. I love this. So I love this napkin. This is the large piece of yellow ledger paper, and I think this is pretty. It's just kind of a plain, well, it's a design, but it's not written on or anything like that. And then this is a piece of the vellum, but this is like for, what do you call it? Architects. This is architectural vellum. It's very, very sturdy. And anyway, so there's that. Then this is the paper. Oh, and when I said very sturdy, you notice how this didn't buckle with the moisture. A lot of just cheaper vellum, it crinkles. So this is a very textured paper, and it has these blue fibers in it. This is pretty. You can see the fibers in between the mushrooms. I like this. And then this is the very first one that I did. That's on a piece of paper that came from, where did this come from? This is almost like a baking paper, but it doesn't feel waxy. It doesn't have that feeling that would have prevented the napkin from sticking, but it's got a heavier sort of industrial feel. I wonder if I got this at a previous workplace and it came in some packaging or something, like layers between different items. So that's what I have for now. This is so funny. I was looking through previous journals and pulled this off the shelf. We have this little steampunk looking owl. Who sent me this? Sandra, was this you? I think somebody sent me this. And then I have a block of stamps. I still have quite a few of these blocks where a collector tied them all together, and I went ahead and MOD-PODGed the whole thing and turned it into a charm with a bell on the outside. And then there is a tiny little domino with a bell on the outside and a pretty bead. I love those beads. So remember when I did the flip throughs of the Halloween journals and there was a year missing? This might have been it. So I did turn one of my zines into a Halloween journal. This is 2020, I think. So you can see that was a page, I believe, from the image zine. Let's see. I haven't looked through this in a long time, so I don't know what is going to be a private entry and what is just art for everybody to look at. Oh, I love that old picture. I need to find that again. That's on my computer somewhere. And I remember printing that on regular printer paper. Worrying is like praying for things you don't want. It's interesting that this says begun October 28th, 2020. Okay, so look, and then it was still continued in 2022. Today is, so I had started this for in October and pulled it off the shelf in 2022 to add a note. This journal was begun 1 year and 7 months ago. It's another sign that time just rolls on. I have so many blessings from my channel, so many friends. It's hard to be as good a friend to each one out there as they are to me. Oh, that's really sweet. And it's true. It is so true. I want to give to each one of you the way you've given to me. So let's keep turning. What was this? This looks like... I guess that was a magazine page. I think I liked all of these little illustrations for Halloween. I think that's why that was in there. And see, there's still blank space in here. This is basically the zine that was printed out, or at least part of it, I think. And it looks like I did some jelly printing or gel printing. So there's still a lot of room in here. Oh, I remember that. I love that. You can see that old image sort of digitally pasted on top of this background. There is something that I've been thinking about my journals and them being passed on to my children, and I think I've mentioned this before, and my children do say that they want these things. They might change their minds, but I think they will. I want to fill each journal up. I don't want these journals to just be a quarter of the way full and then be a lot empty, because that is going to make them less desirable, even in a sense of being able to sit down and enjoy something. As a family member, or even for myself, like if I keep these and Lord willing, if I'm alive, 20 years from now, I want these to be full. So I'm kind of going back and pulling down journals off the shelf and looking through. Oh my goodness, my youngest little grandson, look how sweet. He was born in 2020. And let me tell you, the 2 days that my daughter was in labor, they induced her for preeclampsia. Her blood pressure was getting really high, and they took her in on a Tuesday morning, early in the morning, and started induction. And of course, if I didn't have that, but I've had a lot of friends who've been through that, and they've talked about just the pain and how your body is not quite ready. But I do understand that you want to head off eclampsia at the pass. You don't want that to set in. So I understood it, but COVID was going on, so none of us could be with her except her husband. And my family, I won't say they were blowing up my phone, but we all love Michaela. Everybody was worried about what was happening. This whole entire day went on, and no baby. So at the end of the day, like early evening, 5 or 6 o'clock, I talked to her, and they were gonna just bring everything back down to a standstill and let her go overnight and start it all up again the next day, which they did. So it went on all that day. And by the second day, my family was really messaging me saying, like, what in the world is happening? And is she okay? And is the baby okay? And I didn't know, and I couldn't go over there, couldn't go to the hospital and just walk in. But finally, Wednesday night, late, like 8 or 9 o'clock at night, this little precious child was born. And he looks completely unfazed. He didn't look like he came from a birth where the mother had been in labor for a couple of days. Anyway, I love having things like this in my journals, and I do want to go back. This journal looks so plain to me right now, and I think sometimes I move on to other projects, time runs out. Maybe I even get bored with something, but all of these journals I can come back to. That's one of the beautiful things about junk journals. You can always, always, always come back and add things, whether it's fabric ruffles to the pages or whether it's notes. I could take this in and journal, especially today, about some things going on. I could go inside and journal probably for 2 hours. But you know what I mean. We can keep going back and adding to these. So I'm gonna stop this video for now and stay tuned. I have a couple of projects coming up. I was contacted by someone to make a really fun junk journal as a way to reach out to the community and show them what they can make. So that video is underway, and I am finishing up the everything journal that I'm working on. I'm working on a personal journal for someone, a custom journal. And what else? Oh, I want to do another series on making a junk journal and telling you what you need to do this, which is going to be super easy, and then putting it all together at the end. So there's a lot on the table right now, and I will be back soon. At this time, I would like to thank my Patreon supporters. Without your help, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing, which is have a channel, create content, make journals, and do art full time. Thank you so much for supporting me like you do. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate always your feedback and suggestions. Okay, bye for now.